The Real World of Work. Chapter 1. The Real World of Work 1. What they say about success. Innovation is the key to success. Some big hots say there are 4 skills which are key to success. 1. Communication skills. 2. The use of information technology. 3. Numeracy. 4. Learning how to learn. What gets me about this list is that they don't mention what could be the most important factor of all: how to deal with people, get along with them, work with them. Straight reality: get rid of delusions. Everybody is replaceable. Happiness matters. Go for a job you like rather than the highest paying one. The way to make it in the world is to be of use to somebody. Nothing is work unless you'd rather be doing something else. This is a book of resources and ideas of how to find a job or a career and how to deal with it once you get it. It's pretty well all here. It's not an education book, so although I list trade, professional, accrediting and union organization addresses of where to find schools to learn your chosen profession, I left many school addresses out because it would have made the book too tedious. However, I've written an education book where I cover most educational institutions for most professions. This book points you in the right direction. My education book gives you details about schooling. The job hunting game is the biggest and most important game of all, especially if you're a have-not, which most of us are at some point in our lives. I wrote this book because I know that money is king, and if you don't have a good supply of it, you can easily fall into a pit of mundanity and hopelessness. Knowledge is the only solution to get you out of any hole. Despite all the psychobabble in the world about finding your soul, the only thing that really matters is to bring home the bacon. If you don't have money, you aren't got nothing. You can't find fulfillment unless you got enough money one way or another to give you a comfortable roof over your head with some disposable income to do with as you please, and the only way most of us get it is with a job. Probably the biggest delusion in Western society for middle to upper class kids under 25 who don't know the real world but think they do is that life is easy and it's relatively easy to make it out there in any field you choose. They have these delusions based on watching glittery images on TV all their lives while being protected from life on the poor side of the tracks in their sanitized neighborhoods. Get it through your head now: real life aren't like it is on TV, and when your daddy cuts you off at some point in time, you'll see how tough it is just to get by, and you'll see how cutthroat and competitive the real world is. I don't buy into any statistics the politicians put out to try to either hype up or downgrade the economy. Charles Dickens once said, "These are the best of times and the worst of times," which is true because everything is individual regardless of the global reports on the economy. Life is lived alone in your head. You can either choose to thrive in a down economy through your actions or fall prey to the propaganda like most people do. Face 3 facts. We have a huge trade deficit where eons of goods come in from all over the world, taking jobs away from Americans simply because most stuff can be made cheaper in other countries, mainly because of cheap labor and much less safety and pollution laws. NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, and GATT, the General Agreement on Trades and Tariffs, have made it very easy for American companies to relocate to third world nations which have very few laws and a cheap labor force, so they can ship the product back to America for low or no tariffs. The economy is changing to that of high tech and information over basic goods and services. Because of these things, we have an economy where the traditional low-end staples are generally produced cheaper overseas and shipped here, but America is the world leader in technology and innovation, so we create the new frontiers of consumer goods and expand them out into the world, which is how we make our money. The lesson is that it's all about high-tech gadgetry and information technology/computers for the moment, but I have a sense of foreboding that a country that doesn't manufacture its own staple goods like fridges, stoves, TVs, furniture, shoes, clothes, etc. is destined for doom, or at least a rude awakening at some point in time. I fear this lazy attitude the powers that be in this country have about buying our basic goods from China and Mexico rather than making them ourselves. Because of this, I fear the state of the job market greatly, especially for the average guy or gal without a specialized skill, regardless of how motivated he or she is. The high-tech industry is volatile because they create new products. There's an initial spray of success as the consumers buy it, but then copycats come out, the market is overflooded and demand dies down, so the problem is that of the need for new products. As soon as a new product line is invented, the high-tech sector goes up. We had cable TV, computers, wireless phones, the internet, Blackberries, DVD players, and now we wait for the next big invention to change the world. Maybe it will be electric cars or windmill generators on our houses, but somehow I doubt it because the oil companies fight against these types of products from making it onto the market. Check out ecompany.com for a feel of the high-tech sector. Beyond technology, which is always changing, the economy will never be completely stable. The medical profession and death industry are relatively stable, but that's it. You can't even trust a government job anymore. There are cutbacks there too. The military is not an automatic stable career. You have to learn to make your own breaks. I can't tell you how many naive bumpkins I've come across who spent years studying in a field and barely knew anything about how their professional or trade organization could help them with job searching, or even that their field had a professional organization for resource assistance. Some fields are horrible for job prospects even though school, college, and universities routinely offer these programs and majors. Their business is the business of making money by granting diplomas, not to help you find a job or to even tell you there are very few jobs in the field. They make money by pumping out graduates. With very few exceptions, they have no connection with the actual job industry. Do not study anything in any school until you do some research to see what the job market is out there for that particular field. Go to bls.gov to look for the future outlook for different professions. At trade schools and colleges, in the different departments, they often have one resource guy or a little library with a shelf full of books that you can use to help you find jobs in the real world. Find these people and ask them for help even if you don't go to that school. As I explain in my education book, college is a business, the degree is the commodity with no guarantees, so don't play that game. Do your research upfront to make sure there will be good job opportunities in your chosen major or field, otherwise you will end up another depressed case like many millions with useless liberal arts degrees. Pick a major in a practical field like physical therapy, get a steady job, then go back to your liberal artsy pursuits and maybe parlay them into a part-time job or business on your own time, but get your feet firmly planted on the ground first with a steady practical profession. They never tell you that there are way more architect and journalism graduates around than there are jobs, yet they keep taking new students in these areas at college. It's a rude awakening when you study hard, get your journalism degree, then send out 400 resumes and get nothing back, like a girl I knew, and she was beautiful on top of it. She would have made a great news anchor, but she ended up becoming a teacher. It's a shame when you study hard at something that you wanted to do since grade school, then find out there are no jobs in that field. Most of us are brainwashed into thinking that college is the American dream. However, college is a fantasy land and the land of broken dreams for many people who get advanced degrees in some soft major, then end up desperate for a job. Before you major in something, make sure it's a bona fide, necessary skill that there's a need for, like dentistry, nursing, criminal justice, etc. Beware that there are too many lawyers and too many PhD teacher majors around. Beware of flaky majors with very few job opportunities. For time expended, you can probably make more money and never be out of a job with a basic down-to-earth, practical skill. Before you go to a conventional academic college, check out the technical colleges, community, and vocational schools in your area to see what they have to offer that's more realistic in finding true employment. If you're in doubt about your life, as most people are in their 20s, don't necessarily waste it at college getting a useless degree. Get a skill that takes relatively little time to learn, then do it for a while and collect a good paycheck while you find your true soul. You can get a commercial driver's license and drive truck, or get an allied health profession relatively easily within a year or two of school, then have a steady job while you indulge your other interests and figure something else out as you get older. You can design websites from anywhere on the planet. You don't even have to have merchant credit card status. You can collect the money through PayPal. Take math and sciences throughout high school even if just for the fact that it looks good on your record. Even if it's actually meaningless in the real world like quadratic equations, it still shows the fact that you can think analytically, and this is what prospective employers in most trades want, somebody with a mechanical aptitude. If your high school offers any type of computer training, take as many courses in computers as possible. If you can do one thing for yourself that will increase your chances in the work world, buy a computer and learn how to use it. Don't waste time on video games, learn real applications like Windows operating system, internet basics, word processing, financial accounting, spreadsheets, etc. Find nighttime adult education courses offered by your local school board. The Bare Bones Guide. Work is about daily meaning as well as daily bread. Crappy jobs are easy to get anywhere, good jobs are hard. Work is love made visible. The Prophet, Khalil Gibran. Why do I work? It's for a good cause I need the money. More men are killed by overwork than the importance of the world justifies. You load 16 tons and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Saint Peter, don't you call me, cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Merle Travis, 16 tons. Look for career info through personal contacts, libraries, career centers, government, school, private, guidance offices in schools, counselors, internet, professional societies, trade organizations, classified ads, federal, state, and local governments, labor unions, career consultants/headhunters, community agencies, corporations, companies, general organizations related to your field. Scan want ads in newspapers, journals, newsletters, trade magazines. Look for employment agency ads in newspapers. Check phone books for names of agencies and employers to contact. Be wary if you, instead of the employer, have to pay a fee to register with a recruiter/employment agency. Identify agencies that specialize in your field. Visit companies. Ask to see a person in a specific department or a person in charge of a certain type of job. Vocational guidance books to help you choose a career are at #.016.3317 or HF5381 HF5383 at the library. Job search books are at #331.7, #371.425 and #650.14 or HF5328 to HF5549. Go to #640.43-50 or BF637 for books about self-management, time management, work, and family, etc. Go to #353.001 for government-related job books. At #153.94 or BF698, there are books about personality and occupation and personality tests for career. At #158.7, 3306.361 or BF481, HD4904 or HD8072, there are books about the psychological aspects of work. Job books in the Library of Congress system are at #HF5382.5. Business books are at #650-659. Resume writing books are at #650.14 or HF5383 at the library. Many libraries have special sections for employment, education, and business in addition to the regular stacks. Ask about them in the reference section, then go to both sections to see what they got, the regular book section which will have the older books and the reference section which will have the newer ones. For information about cities, refer to the Worldwide Chamber of Commerce directory at the library or the websites in this book. Every good library gets the major newspapers in your state plus the national ones like the Wall Street Journal, WSJ.com, and USAtoday.com, which all have ads for jobs. They may get a few of the regional newspapers that are geared exclusively to job ads. Beyond that, every library has at least a few general books on whatever field you're in. For example, psychology books are at hashtag 150-159, movie books are at hashtag 791-792, culinary arts at number 641, medicine at hashtag 610-619. You might find a few good books there with addresses and information that might help you find job or career info. Bookstores usually stay current with the latest job books, and they also have job books particular to the region that you live in, so go to your local bookstore for some good leads. Particularly ask if they have a state or regional jobs hotline book. Beyond the local newspaper which has classified ads for work, check out the state or regional newspaper for ads plus the city newspapers close to where you live. Some states and regions have a jobs newspaper or magazine which exclusively lists job ads for the entire area. Either ask about it at the local government employment office or at a large newsstand. If you're considering a trade or profession and are uncertain about where to train or get education for it, you could contact the relevant trade and professional organization, but for many professions, there is local training in mid-size cities, and the place to get this info is at the local, free state government employment office. They can even get you free training, loans, and subsidies if you act poor but inspired. Find the free government employment agency in your area, go there and ask for their help in finding a job or a career. They have lots of stuff on computer, aptitude tests to see what you're good at, help in writing civil service tests, and most relevant job databases around. This is the place to go to either find a career or a job. For a list of private employment agencies, look for the National Directory of Personnel Consultants at your local library. Beyond that are career counselors, some for free through high school, college, vocational school, churches, etc., and some private, for-profit ones who will help you for a fee. Job fairs, advertised on the TV news and in the newspaper, are sometimes held in high school, college, at the library, etc. It's worth it to go even if you have a job, to network with new people and get their business cards. Education books at the library go from hashtag 370 hashtag 379, 374, adult education, 378, college and university, or L of the Library of Congress system. As with job search books, they put the old ones in the stacks and all the new good ones in the reference sections. Don't underestimate your library for a wealth of information, including magazines, audiovisual materials, and access to the internet. They might have a separate reference section for college education and test-taking books like How to Study for the GED, SAT, LSAT, GRE, or things like civil service exams. For trade and professional organizations, refer to either of the books Encyclopedia of Associations, galegroup.com, or National Trade and Professional Associations of the United States, columbiabooks.com, at your local library. There's also the State and Regional Associations Directory, columbiabooks.com. If you have a vocational trade, do the same thing. Find your trade organization, then get whatever information they have to offer. If my listings of the major professional and trade organizations is not current, try typing the name of the organization into a few search engines to see if it has a website or online presence. At the very least, try typing the name of your field into search engines. Just about every field has a trade or professional organization, and usually that organization publishes a magazine or journal which has job postings in it. Along with the trade organizations, somebody else often puts out other journals and magazines in most fields, usually offering information for profit. The key to finding most magazines in most fields is a big directory at the library called the Standard Periodical Directory, which lists most subjects neatly in alphabetical order. There are a few others like Ulrich's Periodical Directory, which covers the world, as opposed to the Standard Periodical Directory, which only covers Canada and the United States. Willingspress.com publishes a worldwide periodical directory that originates from Britain. Simply go to your library and ask for a periodical or magazine directory. There's a book called Writer's Market, number 808 at the library, which lists the addresses of magazines in the trades for prospective writers to send their articles to, but you can use it to look for magazines relevant to your field. In general, there are a lot of different job and career books at both the number 331 general and reference sections of your library. There are some CD-ROM job databases, many websites, and some databases services like Delphi or Dialog which have job databases. Petersons.com sells a book which lists job books for a lot of fields called Where to Start Career Planning, an essential resource guide for career planning and job hunting. GaleGroup.com, 800-877 Gale sell expensive directories available at the library like Job Hunters Sourcebook, where to find employment leads and other job search resources. Professional Careers Sourcebook. Vocational Careers Sourcebook. I've noticed some shows on the public TV channel, PBS, and other intellectual type cable channels geared for the job hunt and different professions. Bantam publishes the National Directory of Corporate Training Programs, which describes the entry-level programs of many corporations. Careers and Colleges. Careersandcolleges.com. For high school students. The Nuts and Bolts Guide of Earning a Living. When you choose a career or business, pick one that you have a reasonable expectation of being around in 20 years, that caters to the nuts and bolts, bread and butter things people need, as opposed to something in a frivolous hobby, recreation area, or something that caters to the upscale, luxury market, because when hard times hit, these are the first to go, and there will be hard economic times in your area in your lifetime. The following are some basic, bread and butter ideas to make money without too much time or money investment involved. Honest selling. Selling people things that can really help them by believing in it and getting out there in public to promote it is the one profession that has created more wealthy people and improved the world more than anything else. If there's something reasonably expensive I want, I always check the local ads newspaper for people selling their used goods, bargainhunterpress.com. I've bought everything from cars to computers to TVs here. I believe that every city or region needs one newspaper that covers ads for used goods. This would be a good business opportunity if your area doesn't have one. If there is a regular flea market in your area, as there in many areas, go there, pay your $20 to put a table down and sell stuff. You get your stuff to sell from closeout/wholesaler websites, small garage sales and flea markets that people have in front of their homes, ads in the local bargain newspaper, estate sales, drive around looking for stuff on garbage day, etc. Get a truck, offer to clean people's homes and haul stuff away for a low fee, then resell some of their junk. Advertise with flyers door to door in upscale areas, small ads in the local bargain newspaper, website, sign on the side of your truck, etc. Anything you buy at local yard sales or anywhere else that looks like an antique or something a collector would be interested in could be worth big bucks if given worldwide exposure on an internet auction website. Take a picture of it and sell it at a site like eBay.com. Read one of those Yesterday's Trash is Today's Treasure books to learn a bit about collectibles and antiques. Start an internet mail order business specializing in a niche area. Personal services businesses are ventures where you make most of your money with labor. It could be anything like furnace repair, basic plumbing, driveway sealer, well digger, tractor service, stone wall construction, daycare, nanny, etc. Many gadgets and appliances have very few repair people. You could make money repairing lawn mowers, chainsaws, sharpening them too, washing machines, dryers, stoves, microwave ovens, cameras, computers, motorcycles, cars, and even upholstery. Check with either the manufacturer about training or local vocational schools/technical colleges for courses. Work for a temp agency. Sell used computers and/or new ones at deep discount prices. Teach people either in a class through the community continuing education program or one-on-one. If you teach through the system, use that as your connection to sell computers and get one-on-one clients. Offer to go to the client's home and teach him or her there. Either sell things over the internet or learn website creation and website promotion and offer these two services. Take any unskilled job if you're desperate. Some jobs lead to better jobs or promotions if you're good. Paint houses, preferably with a paint spraying machine because it's easier and more profitable. People will always need a welder or a blacksmith. People will always need their cars fixed. Advertise in the newspaper. Offer to go to them and fix the car there, i.e., a mobile mechanic. Start a car junkyard, selling car parts. Specialize in a narrow brand and advertise on the internet or take all types. Motorcycle repair. Do lawn care. Home improvements. Cleaning, always. Motels generally need cleaning and clerk staff. Overnight gas stations and convenience stores generally need workers. Plow snow with 4WD truck. Local mover. Odd jobs with a truck. Buy a snow blower. Get contracts to shovel snow. Daily airport or city-to-city shuttle service. Put sign on the side of your van. Roscoe's Daily Shuttle. Halifax to Yarmouth, 12 o'clock. Yarmouth to Halifax, 5 o'clock. 666-6666. Do tax returns, basic accounting for small businesses. Small daycare service in your home. Tutor children in academic subjects. Be a prison guard. Do child care, elder care, home care. Become an auctioneer or start your own auction house at 15% commission. Become a photographer, videographer for weddings, etc., photo.net. Get rich through work. Most people become wealthy by providing a needed product or service of good quality at a fair price. They continually seek better, faster, cheaper ways to do things for more people. If you work a job, the ways to get rich are: 1. Work your way up through the ranks. 2. Get a profession like lawyer, doctor, engineer, etc. 3. Get an MBA, then work in business management or administration. 4. Get a sales job in a hot product. Get a job and keep it. There is a think tank that came up with these skills to help get the job and succeed at it. Read, write, and speak clearly and simply. Listen and to understand. Appreciate the points of view of others. Share information. Be proficient in email and computers. Make your point if need be. Use a search engine to find info. Know a little bit of all subjects. Know basic math. Know how to add and subtract without a calculator. Have the ability to analyze a situation, gather the facts, think about it, then make a wise decision. Seek different points of view. Listen to others, not just yourself. Don't be too dogmatic or self-centered. Make room for other ideas. Always see the consequences of a decision on people. For example, some people just see that they can save money by firing people but don't realize it could cause stress and sabotage. Be creative and innovative in exploring possible solutions. Make a decision, take action, but if it's going badly, don't be afraid to reverse course. Have a positive attitude and positive actions. Be honest. Be nice. Recognize hard work. Take care of your health. Strive to be a positive force at work. Don't be a brown-noser. Don't try to dominate others. Be accountable for your actions and the actions of your group. Take some risk but don't be foolhardy. Go with the flow. Be sociable, but when it's time to work, shut up and work. Be willing to listen and learn from mistakes. Be a constant learner. Be safety conscious. You have to be able to work with others as part of a team. Be flexible. Respect others, even if they're different. Be a team player. Google for jobs on google.com. Go on google.com. Type in job title, jobs place. Pizza driver job, Seattle. Elementary school teacher jobs, Gainesville, Florida. It supposedly gives you a big list of jobs. Chapter 2. The real world of work 2. The way job hunting works. It's all about what can you do for them, not what can they do for you. Don't be afraid to act humble, just don't act desperate. Be willing to do more for less now in order to get ahead. We've been conditioned to think that job hunting is answering ads and filling out applications, but this is the old, passive way. Most jobs aren't advertised because it's a hassle for the employer to advertise, get 100 applicants then eliminate 99 of them. The best way to get a job is to either network like crazy so someone gives you a tip or recommends you when an opening comes up, or be an active job seeker. Approach companies and people asking for a job. They like people who take the initiative in looking for work. It's not just about flooding the marketplace with resumes. It's about following up, calling people, asking for an interview, showing up, asking to speak to the boss, etc. I repeat. Don't wait for job ads. Network and contact companies to introduce yourself. Even offer to intern for a week for free and they don't have to hire you unless they like your work. The truth is that in a skilled profession, the boss is always looking for good workers. Communication is the most important ability. Make up a clear resume that showcases your skills. When you answer interview questions, be clear and specific. Have a neat appearance. Be dependable. Show up on time. Adapt to the people you're with. When you go for an interview, size the interviewer up, then present yourself as though you're like this person. If he's a buttoned-up, Christian type, act that way. If he's an easygoing type, show that you're easygoing too, but don't cross the line in being too informal right away. You're there to help the employer decide to hire you. Don't be over the top. Be respectful and act conservative and dependable. Talk about your strengths. If they ask for your weakness, say that you work too hard. Once you start, you don't stop. Some interviewers have a canned set of questions they ask everyone. Some interviewers might intentionally try to get you mad by criticizing you. Don't let them see you sweat no matter what. If the interviewer wants to make small talk, go along with him. Some interviewers are nervous about interviewing people. After the interview, send an email thank you note and a real one in the mail. Just thank them for the interview and say, I hope I get the opportunity to prove myself to you. It's rare to find a perfect job. Take what you can get, prove yourself and move up in the organization. Remember, your job is to convince this guy that you can help him make more money. Most interviews are very generic. The interview is looking for a connection or a common ground with you. He or she will ask versions of the following questions. Who are you? What is your personality like? What can you do for me? What are you good at? What are your weaknesses? What kind of pay do you expect to earn? What are your dreams and ambitions? Why do you want to work here? There's a gray area on the legality of asking personal questions, which is why a lot of interviewers won't ask questions such as are you married, do you have kids, what's your religion, etc., but they'll ask a general question like what's your personal life like? You should have prepared answers for these types of questions. It's okay to pause after a question to think about it for a few seconds. If you blurt out an answer, you might look too well rehearsed or too spontaneous. You don't think things through. Whatever you do, don't take liberties with the interviewer. Don't get personal or chummy with him. He wants professional respect even if he tells you to relax. You can make friends later, but for now show respect to him as a manager. Never tell the guy what kind of salary you expect even if he asks the question. Just say within the typical pay range of the profession, that you'll deal with it after someone makes you an offer. Compact resumes are the most impressive. If you can describe yourself completely and quickly in one page, employers will be impressed and make a decision to interview you. On your resume, you can put either your website name down or your email address and invite the reader to see more information about you if they want, including a photograph. With email, you use an autoresponder service. You have to keep hustling to make contacts and get interviews. You'll get rejected and discouraged. Don't show cynicism. Be upbeat at interviews. Treat your job search like a full-time job. While you're looking for work and even after you find a job, keep taking continuing education and upgrading courses to be better qualified in your profession. If you're genuinely interested in your field, it shows. If you're not, it shows too. Find something you really like to do. No matter how you cut it, emails get deleted and postal mail gets thrown out, but if you have the guts to call someone or show up at the company and ask to see the boss, the voice-to-voice or face-to-face interaction is more likely to get you an interview or a job than any other approach. There's no shame in saying I'm looking for work, I'd like a chance to prove myself. It takes some guts. That's a plus right off because most people send resumes and never make live contact. If you went to some school, look up their alumni membership, find people in your profession, then send them emails or letters telling them you're an alumni too, you're looking for a job, do they have any leads for you? Do the same for trade organizations. Ask the other members if they have any leads. In any interview, any interviewer worth his salt will use his intuition to get a feel for the person's essence or spirit. That's what sells you, a good, wholesome, energetic, upbeat, positive spirit, not fake but real. Even if you get down while being unemployed, don't start drinking and eating junk food such that you look bad when you go in for interviews. You have to look healthy, like you respect yourself. Job motivation one-liners. If you disrespect somebody and want to keep the relationship, apologize right away. If you act like nothing happened, that person will never be close to you again. Do it as soon as possible. Most bad situations are reversible if you act quickly. Smiling creates a warmer environment. Enthusiasm creates enthusiasm. Everybody screws up. Things always happen to mess up your plans. Stay cool. Deal with the issue at hand, then go back to the main plan. Telling the truth should help you in business and work. When you lie or mess up, fess up fast fastidiously. If you don't, your character is mud when they find out you lied. People will forgive if you confess. If you don't, they will know you can't be trusted. Get away from being a formal, button-up kind of guy or gal to be a personable storyteller type of person. Love the work you do. If things are going well, stay out of the way. Don't try to fix things that work. Powerlessness is, mostly, a state of mind, especially in a wealthy country. People want you to try to personally connect with them, to not be a formal button-up, all business person. Everybody is accountable. Never say it is not your fault. Job quotes/work quotes 1. The harder I work, the luckier I get. Samuel Goldwyn. Find what you love. Steve Jobs. You are the storyteller of your own life, and you can create your own legend or not. Isabel Allende. We are in the twilight of a society based on data. As information and intelligence become the domain of computers, society will place more value on the one human ability that cannot be automated: emotion. Imagination, myth, ritual. The language of emotion will affect everything from our purchasing decisions to how we work with others. Companies will thrive on the basis of their stories and myths. Companies will need to understand that their products are less important than their stories. Rolf Jensen, Copenhagen Institute for Future Studies. The last few decades have belonged to a certain kind of person with a certain kind of mind: computer programmers who could crank code, lawyers who could craft contracts, MBAs who could crunch numbers. But the keys to the kingdom are changing hands. The future belongs to a very different kind of person with a very different kind of mind: creators and empathizers, pattern recognizers and meaning makers. These people, artists, inventors, designers, storytellers, caregivers, consolers, big picture thinkers, will now reap society's richest rewards and share its greatest joys. Dan Pink, A Whole New Mind. My life is my message. Gandhi. The two most powerful things in existence, a kind word and a thoughtful gesture. The deepest human need is the need to be appreciated. William James. We look for listening, caring, smiling, saying thank you, being warm. Colleen Barrett, President, Southwest Airlines, on hiring criteria. A person cannot love a plant after he has pruned it. Then he has either done a poor job or is devoid of emotion. Liberty Hyde Bailey. A lot of people quit looking for work as soon as they find a job. Zig Ziglar. And to get real work experience, you need a job. And most jobs will require you to have had either real work experience or a graduate degree. Donald Norman. If you just lost your job, you are not worrying about losing your job, that already happened. You are worrying about paying your bills and finding a new job. Labor Day in the United States is a public holiday celebrated on the first Monday in September. The world is moved along, not only by the mighty shoves of its heroes, but also by the aggregate of tiny pushes of each honest worker. Helen Keller. There is magic in respecting others. Respect customers, vendors, bosses, employees, co-workers. Respect parents, spouses, sons, daughters. Respect the trash collector, the mayor, the bank teller, the truck driver. There is no hope for the working man outside of organization. Peter J. McGuire, co-founder of the American Federation of Labor and reported father of the American Labor Day holiday. A truly American sentiment recognizes the dignity of labor and the fact that honor lies in honest toil. Grover Cleveland. The labor movement means just this, it is the last noble protest of the American people against the power of incorporated wealth. Wendell Phillips. Job quotes/work quotes too. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Confucius. Do you feel stuck? Whether in a project, a job, a relationship, or some other situation, there is a time for perseverance, and a time for letting go and moving on. Don't underestimate your abilities. That's your boss's job. Anonymous. Don't get officious. You're not yourself when you're officious. That is the curse of a government job. The movie Harold and Maude, 1971. Find a job you like and you add 5 days to every week. H. Jackson Brown, Jr. Getting fired is nature's way to telling you that you had the wrong job in the first place. Hal Lancaster. God guided me to America and gave me a good job. But he also gave me a heart so I would look back. Manut Bal. God will forgive me. It's his job. Heinrich Heine. I met an American woman and got married so I had to get a job. Walter Wager. I don't want any yes men around me. I want everybody to tell me the truth even if it costs them their job. Samuel Goldwyn. I think the person who takes a job in order to live, that is to say, for the money, has turned himself into a slave. Joseph Campbell. I just try to do as good job with the material as I can and play some jazz as well. Some improvised music, and do that every night. Just see where it goes. Mose Allison. I am privileged to do a job I love to do. I would never change any moment from my life. Enya. I figure that if the children are alive when I get home, I've done my job. Roseanne Barr. I like the job. That's what I'll miss the most. I'm not sure anybody ever liked this as much as I've liked it. William J. Clinton. If you have a job without any aggravations, you don't have a job. Malcolm S. Forbes, wealthy publisher. If you don't enjoy your career, today is the day to begin a long-term plan for creating a career that interests and excites you. If you hate your job, look for small joys at work each day. Perhaps in your interactions with customers and co-workers. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well. Martin Luther King, Jr. If you don't take full responsibility for your own happiness, who do you suppose will? Your happiness is a one-person job. It begins and ends with you. If you can work and if you're offered a job and you don't take it, you cannot continue to claim benefits. It will be extremely tough. David Cameron. If you put all your strength and faith and vigor into a job and try to do the best you can, the money will come. Lawrence Welk. If my films make one more person miserable, I'll feel I have done my job. Woody Allen. It is not my place to doubt the sincere beliefs of others. My job is to question my own beliefs. It is a mistake for a sculptor or a painter to speak or write very often about his job. It releases tension needed for his work. Henry Moore. It's never easy with characters in these dark and grave circumstances, but that's my job. Patricia Clarkson. It's a terribly hard job to spend $1 billion and get your money's worth. George M. Humphrey. It's a recession when your neighbor loses his job. It's a depression when you lose yours. Harry S. Truman. It's not my job to dream your dreams. It's my job to make your dreams become a reality. Blanche Lincoln. Know that miracles are the natural way of the universe. Your only job is to move your doubting mind out of the way. Let's talk about the gas company because this is my favorite job. Minoru Yamasaki. Living in fear of anything is a terrible waste of what could be a great life. If you live in fear of losing your job, either you fear the embarrassment of being jobless, or you fear the loss of material goods, house, car, and such. If you live in fear of losing your stuff and money, it is clear that they own you. Maturity is the ability to do a job, whether or not you are supervised, to carry money without spending it, and to bear an injustice without wanting to get even. And Landers. Miracles are the natural way of the universe. Our only job is to move our doubting minds aside and let the miracles flow. My son is now an entrepreneur. That's what you're called when you don't have a job. Ted Turner. My God, this is a hell of a job. I have no trouble with my enemies. I can take care of my enemies all right. But my damn friends, my goddamn friends. They're the ones that keep me walking the floor at night. Warren G. Harding. My mother worked in factories, worked as a domestic, worked in a restaurant, always had a second job. Ed Bradley. No, they don't appreciate you, and it's not their job. It's your own job to appreciate yourself. Not everyone is always going to like what you do. Your job application, your book proposal, your offer of marriage is going to get rejected sometimes, perhaps often. Your boss, your spouse, even the person behind you in the supermarket checkout line is occasionally going to think that you are doing it all wrong. Don't take it personally. Now our job, our duty, our responsibility to ensure the safety and security of our citizens cannot be complete unless we guarantee health care security for our citizens. Thomas Vilsack. Outsiders can help, but insiders must do the job. Jimmy Yen. Scratch a dog and you'll find a permanent job. Franklin P. Jones. Sometimes, our family's most important job is reminding us how unimportant we are. The most terrible job in warfare is to be a second lieutenant, leading a platoon when you are on the battlefield. Dwight D. Eisenhower. The world is perfect. It's a mess. It has always been a mess. We are not going to change it. Our job is to straighten out our own lives. Joseph Campbell. The greatest teacher I know is the job itself. James Cash Penney. The ending of a job or a relationship may appear as the darkest night, but it is merely the winter season, the time of renewal and rebirth. that precedes the new planting. The beginning of the next great cycle. The best way to appreciate your job is to imagine yourself without one. Oscar Wilde. The job of the central bank is to worry. Alice Rivlin. The only thing to do is to hug one's friend tight and do one's job. Edith Wharton. The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. Vince Lombardi. The hardest part was when I was in high school not having a job and always being broke. I had to get to auditions without a car. I either took the bus or walked. Cuba Gooding, Jr. There's a trick to the graceful exit. It begins with the vision to recognize when a job, a life stage, a relationship is over, and to let go. It means leaving what's over without denying its value. Ellen Goodman. To be successful, a woman has to be much better at her job than a man. Golda Meir. We must trust our own thinking. Trust where we're going. And get the job done. Wilma Mankiller. What new technology does is create new opportunities to do a job that customers want done. Tim O'Reilly. Whatever your life's work is, do it well. A man should do his job so well that the living, the dead, and the unborn could do it no better. Martin Luther King, Jr. When someone gets a job, it better be clear what they did to get it. Mark V. Hurd. Whenever you are asked if you can do a job, tell them, certainly I can. And get busy and find out how to do it. Theodore Roosevelt. Working at a job you hate is unlikely to bring you either happiness or success. Do what you love. Whether wealth follows or not, you will be happy. You can always tell a real friend, when you've made a fool of yourself he doesn't feel you've done a permanent job. Lawrence J. Peter. You better take advantage of the good cigars. You don't get much else in that job. Thomas P. O'Neill. You must pursue this investigation of Watergate even if it leads to the president. I'm innocent. You've got to believe I'm innocent. If you don't, take my job. Richard M. Nixon. Chapter 3. The Real World of Work 3. Job Search Worksheet. What do you want to do? Where do you want to work? I want to work in the following field, S. I want to work in the following nation, S. I want to work in the following organization, S. I want to work in the following region, S/state, S. I want to one of these positions. I want to work in the following town, S. Part-time employment considerations. Housing and food while you job search. Recreation, mental health, and health while job searching. Job search advice from career.fsu.edu. Know yourself. What are you after? A fulfilling life. Money. Know your career goals and objectives. Know your true nature/soul. Study the job search process and the job maquette, where you want to work. The easiest way is to get some of my several job books. You have to search. Many people do it online by sending resumes and with a LinkedIn profile. Some people introduce themselves at the buildings and personnel managers where they want to work. What do you want to do? Where do you want to work? Identify specific companies and organizations. Research these targets. Send them emails, network, and show up with a resume. Say you're looking for a job. Information interviews are where somebody agrees to talk to you about the field, no strings attached. The job search process takes time. You will probably get discouraged. Don't wait for a job. Keep applying and showing up. Job searching involves research, persistence, rejection. When you're facing them, it's never about you. It's about what you can do for them. Don't ask about vacation time. Simply look eager and healthy. Make a good resume and cover letter. Practice interview skills by reading a checklist of possible questions. Explore multiple options. Don't send out resumes then wait for a response. Keep applying. Attend job fairs. Searching in the want ads or employment agencies. Networking is the best method for the job market. Try these places for info. Telephone books. Community directories. Professional associations and journals. Newspapers. Libraries. Employment agencies. State Workforce Dev Centers / Department of Labor. Alumni. Chamber of Commerce. Discussion groups. Do research on the job you are pursuing. Prepare questions prior to the interview. Be courteous. Send a thank you letter. Use a record-keeping system for the job search that contains this material. Employers contacted. Letters sent. Responses received. Second interviews. Examples of networking resources. Family, friends, neighbors. Faculty, staff, former teachers. Professionals. School associates and alumni. Avoid common mistakes. Shyness. Lack of confidence. Fear of rejection. Lack of necessary skills. Procrastination. Negative thinking. Job hunting errors. Poor resume. Failure to network. Limiting job research. Using a canned approach. Inadequate interview preparation. Poor interview techniques. Too little time devoted to search. Negative attitude. Lack of attention to appearance. Take care of yourself. Keep good records. Join a job hunters club / support group. Consider part-time or temp work. Career info at cla.umn.edu / career-readiness / tools-resources. Set goals. Build a relationship with your supervisor. Build relationships with your coworkers. Regular deliberation. Core career competencies. Cover letter. Interviewing. Networking. Job search. Internships. Part-time jobs. Volunteering. z.umn.edu / CR guide. z.umn.edu / find internships. Be proactive. Be purposeful. Characteristics that employers seek. Initiative. Self-motivation. Flexibility and adaptability. Willingness to learn. Take constructive feedback. Problem solving. Critical thinking skills. Work in teams. Communication skills. Written and oral. Solid work ethic. Attention to detail. Reliability. Interpersonal skills. Getting along with people. Organizational skills. Planning skills. Establishing priorities. Following through on tasks. Tact. Honesty and integrity. Use of technology. Social media. Critical thinking. Teamwork. Leadership. Applied problem solving. How do I dress? Set goals. Do your duties. Keep learning. Know your rights. The Fair Labor Standards Act. dol.gov/whd/regs compliance /whdfs71.htm. President's Emerging Scholars. presscholars.umn.edu. Active citizenship. Community engagement. Digital literacy. Employers want basic human abilities. Capitalist success is the same anywhere. Be ambitious. Be smart. Be frugal. Work hard. Think up ideas to do things better. Take risks. The thing is that they don't care about you. They care about what you can do for them. Can you do what they want you to do? When you make your resume, cover letter, and go for an interview, it's all about I know what you want and I'm here to solve your problems. Focus on the job, not you. It's not hard to research any company and even those so you know about them before you tailor your resume and cover letter to them. Go to those company/industry websites I list in this book. Everyone has an ego. If you show these bosses some interest and admiration but not so much that it's phony, some of them will hire you on that alone. Employers generally look for these things. Someone who shows up, doesn't steal, does the job and is not a sad sack. Somebody not self-centered. Somebody honest. Somebody who looks healthy. Wants to succeed. Communication, write and speak clearly, listen, make effective presentations. Critical thinking, assess a situation, gather multiple perspectives, evaluate your options. Leadership, inspire and motivate others. Creativity, generate new ideas or alternatives. Flexibility, adapt to change. Teamwork, cooperate, negotiate. Accept responsibility, behave consistently, hold a strong work ethic. Professionalism, have a good attitude, dress appropriately. Able to work on their own. Doesn't get stressed out. Doesn't get angry. Become extraordinary or invaluable. Self-confident. Ambitious. Problem solvers. Can take constructive criticism. Not negative. Somebody with a career plan. Open-minded. Your ability to do the job. Your ability to get along with the people you work with. Show some deference to the boss. Don't treat him like your buddy. Conform to the place and to way people dress and talk. Be polite. Your ability to be friendly and empathetic to others, to see it from their point of view. Your ability to adhere to the unwritten code of civility among people without being angry, ill-tempered, hateful, or violent. Your ability to speak clearly with a good command of words. Your ability to butter up clients, be nice to them so you get the sale. Your creative, visionary, problem-solving ability. Your ability as an administrative person/manager. Do you respect paperwork and do it? Your ability as an inspirational leader or as an inspired worker. Your character when you're feeling low. Your professionalism. Your ability to manage a project. Your intuitive technical aptitude. Your natural ability at salesmanship. Your writing ability. Your ability as a negotiator, a compromiser. Your ability with a computer. Your daily look. Do you look good, healthy, inspired, or do you look like a run-down piece of alcoholic trailer trash with roots showing through? Your ability to look at the sunny side of life. Your desire to constantly strive to get ahead, a go-getter so to speak. Your enjoyment of your work. Your ability to be realistic, to not live in a delusion. Your ability to not gossip, talk about people behind their backs. Ability to speak well. Knowledge of basic math. Ability to think to solve problems and use common sense. Positive attitude. Sense of responsibility. Ability to adjust to new situations. Work safely. Be a team player. Ability to learn new things. The future of work? Life changes because of technology, but people stay the same. Employers still look for the same old-fashioned basic things in a worker. They can tell in one look. One time when I was a teenager, I applied to work as a cleaner at a hospital. I got hired. I told my friends to apply. They did. They didn't get hired, but the boss kept hiring new people right after them. I then realized it was because of the look. I looked healthy, clean-cut and clean. My friends didn't. The way you present yourself to the world speaks volumes about you. In the past, many employees looked forward to a career within a specific organization for life with gradual pay raises and promotions along the way. This model still exists in a limited form. The new career model is that a person will probably work with several different organizations over a lifetime, possibly within several sectors: commercial, industrial, government, NGO. Some industries take a big hit like pulp and paper because of electronic text. Others take off like cell phones and Wi-Fi. They say that there are less huge multinational corporations now and more smaller to medium enterprises, SMEs. Here is a list of some universal skills that will make you employable and a good worker. Communication skills: talk well, write well. Information management skills: use a word processing program. Use email. Do basic research, as in library and search engine usage to find information on a topic. People skills: work with people, smile, don't discriminate. Be on time. Do what you say you'll do. Be honest. Be personable and friendly. Have the intelligence to plan for the next several things you must do on the job. Solve problems as they come up with creative, common sense ideas. Do what you're told, do it on time. Be organized in general, time management. Be a clear, rational thinker to a certain point. Most people have self-delusions, which is fine as long as they don't interfere with the job. Be able to critically analyze an article to see if it's crap or makes sense. Use standard software suites of word processor, spreadsheet, databases, and presentation. The more software you know how to use, the better your resume looks.